Have you ever thought about how we communicate? It feels like you need thousands and thousands of words to get your point across, right? Well, today we're going to flip that idea on its head by looking at one single, incredibly powerful word. So, let me just ask you this straight up. How many words do you really need to speak English clearly? 100,000? 50,000? What if I told you the answer might be less than 1,000? Let's dive in and see how that's even possible.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at this wild idea of an 850-word language. Then we'll meet one of its keywords, explore its two different personalities, see its whole family tree, and finally, we'll talk about why simple can be so incredibly powerful.
All right, first things first, let's talk about this concept of a language built on just 850 words. I know, it sounds kind of crazy, but it's actually a pretty amazing solution to the problem of overly complex communication. The system is actually called Basic English. And no, it's not a brand new language. Think of it more like a streamlined version of English built from a carefully chosen core vocabulary. The whole point isn't to replace English, but to create a simple tool for clear communication anywhere in the world.
And this is the magic number right here, 850. That's it. The entire system, the whole foundation, is built on just 850 words. The thinking is, if you choose the right 850 words, you can say just about anything you need to. Talk about efficiency. Okay, so to really get how this works, we're not going to try and learn all 850 words. Instead, we're going to put just one of them under a microscope. By understanding one word, we can really see the genius of the whole system. And our word of the hour is any. Yep, that's it. A simple word you probably say a dozen times a day without even thinking about it. But believe me, this word was chosen to be on that exclusive 850-word list for a very good reason. It's a total powerhouse of versatility. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The word any isn't just a one-trick pony. It actually plays two totally different but super important roles in the language. It's like it has two sides to its personality with two core meanings. So meaning number one is all about quantity. When you use any this way, you're talking about an amount, but an indefinite one. It could mean some, or it could mean none at all. You're basically asking about whether something exists or how much of it there is. And this sentence just nails it. There aren't any pencils left. See how any here is all about the quantity? The number of pencils is 0, not a single one left. It's perfectly clear, direct, and gets the point across about the absence of something. Okay, let's switch gears to its other personality. The second meaning has nothing to do with quantity. This one is all about choice. When we use any in this way, we're saying that the specific one you pick just doesn't matter. The choice is wide open. This is the perfect example for that. I can answer any question. This doesn't mean I can answer a certain number of questions, right? It means it doesn't matter which one you pick. Throw one at me, throw all of them at me. I'm ready. It's all about unlimited choice. So let's just put them side by side so this really sinks in. On one hand, you've got, is there any coffee? That's a question of quantity. Is there some or is there none? On the other hand, you have, pick any card. That's a statement of choice. It doesn't matter which one you grab. Same word, two completely different, really useful jobs. But hang on, the power of any doesn't even stop there. Part of the brilliance of basic English is picking words that are like building blocks. Let's see how any helps us build a whole family of other words. Just look at this list. You take your core word, any, and you stick it together with other simple words. Suddenly, you get anybody, anyone, anything, and anywhere. This is just efficiency at its best. You learn one simple concept, and boom, you've unlocked a whole web of related ideas. So let's zoom back out. We've just spent a few minutes looking at one tiny word from an 850-word list. So what? Why does this actually matter? What's the big takeaway from all this? The big idea is this. Simplicity does not mean that something is weak or less effective. A single, well-chosen word like any can express a bunch of complex ideas, from the amount of something to the idea of unlimited choice. That's a ton of power packed into just 3 little letters. And that kind of leads us to the final thought here. The whole principle of basic English shows us that with a small set of really powerful tools, you can build almost anything. So it just makes you wonder, if you had to communicate a really big idea, but you only have these core building blocks, what could you explain with just 850 words?